Hello, my name is Mrs. Powers, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the options that you have in terms of studying sciences at GCSE in Year 10. The two options that are available for all of our students are to either study triple science or double combined science. So in this video, I'm going to try and show you the difference between the two, to explain some of the key terms and to try and answer some of the questions that we know lots of students ask at this time of year. So the first thing we want to look at is what are the differences? With triple science, the students are studying three separate subjects, so they'll get three separate GCSE grades at the end of the 2 years. A GCSE grade for biology, one for chemistry, and one for physics. They will have three separate teachers, one for each of the subjects, and they'll get two exams in each, so a total of 6 exams at the end of year 11. Now, students can study triple science at higher or foundation tier, and I'll come back to that in a couple of slides' time. And there's no coursework at triple science either. So the assessment is all the exams at the end. Now, we would say that triple science is most suitable for students who've achieved a working towards grade of 6 and above at the end of year 9 in their science and in their maths. Because there's a lot of content to cover and there's a higher emphasis on independent learning, we find that students who've got at least a grade 6 are the ones that tend to be most successful at triple science. The other option for students is to study the double or combined science option, and this is the equivalent of 2 GCSE grades. So this is like students are studying 2 subjects. They still get to learn biology, chemistry, and physics, but they learn less content for each of those subjects. So they're basically learning the equivalent of 2 GCSE grades worth of each. They do 6 exams at the end of year 11, 2 biology, 2 chemistry, and 2 physics, just the same as triple science, but their exams are slightly shorter. And again, this is because there's less content to learn. Double science is available at higher or foundation tier. There's no coursework, and we would say that double science is suitable for all students. Sometimes students can find that the amount of content in triple science can make it really quite challenging. With double science, because there's less content, there's less things that students need to learn. It means that the pace of learning is slightly slower, and it means then that students get more time with their teachers to be able to be learning their concepts. They're not having to learn as much independently, and that means that it's certainly suitable for students of any ability. Now, we've mentioned higher and foundation tier, so let's just quickly look at what those are. At science, we choose normally around January in year 11 whether students are going to be best suited to sit a higher tier paper or a foundation tier paper. We don't need to make those decisions early on, and as I said, we don't make the decisions until after year 11 have done their mock exams. The foundation tier goes from a grade 1, which is the lowest grade, up to a grade 5, which is a good pass. The higher tier then starts at a grade 4 and goes up to a grade 9. So this reflects the difficulty in terms of the questions that the students will see on their exam paper. The reason we're telling you about this now is that lots of students believe that if they do the double science, they can only sit foundation and they can't get a grade 9 if they do double science. And I just want to reassure you that that is not the case. Both double and triple science are available at foundation and higher tier. So it really is about students being entered for the exam and the qualification where they're most likely to be successful. And that's the most important thing, where we're choosing which course and then eventually later on which tier to enter the students for. Now, some common questions that we get asked around this time of year when students are choosing are things like, I don't want to be a scientist, is it worth doing triple science? The answer here is we would say that taking triple science gives students the opportunity to learn analytical thinking, scientific ways of thinking, problem solving that can really set them up for later life. Science-based skills can be applicable to many, many different career areas. So we would say it's definitely worth it. Even if you're not thinking about being a scientist, there's still lots of things that are really valuable and skills that you can learn, which will really stand you in good stead for future studies. Do you have to take triple science GCSEs if you want to do A-level science? By taking triple science at GCSE, you will learn more content, and that will help you to be best prepared if you want to take science A-levels, but you don't have to. If you don't do triple science and you decide that you would like to do A-level sciences, then we and any sixth form college would look at your grades in deciding whether you would be best suited to doing science at level. So don't worry, it doesn't stop you from being able to do that if you change your mind and think, oh, I wish I had done triple. It's all down to what grades you get. Another question we get asked is, do you get an extra option subject if you take double science because you get less lessons? And the short answer here is no. All the students get to choose 3 option subjects regardless of which science course you decide on. So there's no difference there. And finally, what should you do if you're not sure? The biggest thing to do is to kind of think about what you're likely to be most successful on. Do you enjoy science? Are you thinking about studying sciences later on? Do you want to keep your options open? Taking triple science, if you have a working towards grade of a 6 or above at the end of year 9, choosing triple science will keep your options open. So it's worth considering kind of deciding to do that, and then obviously you can always decide later on whether or not you want to do A-levels or not. Speaking to your science teacher might help you choose which course you might be more successful on and which one you might be better suited to as well. There's obviously more information on the internet too. My GCSE Science, for example, has a bit of a guide for parents about the 9-to-1 GCSE Sciences. So some of the information there might be helpful for parents too. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with us if you've got any questions or you've got anything that we can help with. Remember, the crucial thing now is to think about where you're going to be most successful. Best of luck.